Thank you, Amy, and thank you for coming back to Red and White. Today we're going to be making sangria. There's a red sangria and we're also going to make a white sangria. Most people just think of the red sangria. Sangria originated in the Rioja region of Spain, so we are going to be using the traditional Rioja 100% Tempranillo in our red sangria. Then we're also going to be using the Sauvignon Blanc in the white sangria. But before we get started, I just want to tell you that in 1964, during the World's Fair, they had a wine punch that they introduced there, which was sangria. So that's the first time sangria came into the United States. And now it's pretty prominent and prevalent in a lot of the bars and a lot of the restaurants in the area. Both the white and the red sangria start out with the same ingredients. You want to use 1 lime and 1 lemon. And I cut these up pretty thin. You wanted them to float around in your sangrias. And if they're too thick, they'll drop more. Then you also want to use 1 orange, again sliced. And that's going to be your base of both sangrias. We'll start with the red sangria. On this one, you want to put in 16 ounces, about 1 package of sliced strawberries. And then you want to put in your red wine. So again, I'm going with the traditional Rioja region of Spain, 100% Tempranillo. And this will give it a nice, well-balanced flavor to it. And you can mix up your sangria. You do not have to go with strawberries. You can go into raspberries. I've even heard of some people going into blueberries. It's a little bit different flavor for me, not something that I prefer, but if you are a blueberry fan, you can do that in your sangria. Then we go with Cointreau. We go with 1/2 cup of the Cointreau. We also go with 1/2 cup of brandy. Now some people will put cognac into their sangria. We stick with brandy, but the cognac even gives it a little bit more punch. And then 1/2 cup of grape juice. Now we go with the white grape juice just because it's not quite as sweet. And lastly, you want to put in 1/4 cup of sugar. Now we use the fine baker's sugar because it dissolves a lot quicker. And you just mix that up. And we suggest leaving it at least for 2-3 hours. Put it in the refrigerator and you're going to get a really nice, easy drinking sangria. The white sangria, we've already got our base set again, 1 lemon, 1 lime, 1 orange. But instead of strawberries, now you're going to put in peaches. And I cut up 2 peaches. We'll again use 1/2 cup of the Cointreau. And then we're going to use a peach liqueur. This again gives it a lot more punch, a lot more zing to it. And then a full cup of the peach nectar. White sangria is usually sweeter than your red sangrias. And for that reason, we put in a full cup of the granulated sugar. And again, this is the fine baker's sugar. And of course, we don't want to forget the main ingredient, which is the wine. These are really nice drinks for out on the patio, for a barbecue. The white sangria goes really well with barbecued foods. And we do some events here that we just do sangria on the patio nights. Come on out, sample the different ones. And then what we'll do is we'll pour it into a larger glass. Some people put it in a wine glass. Just not enough for me. So thank you so much for coming to Red and White. We hope you enjoy the sangria recipes and mix it up. If you want to put a different fruit in your white sangria or in your red sangria, go for it. That's what drinking deliciously is all about.